Hi, in today's video, I'm just going to show you how I've used Blackboard in order to mark online assessments. It's just going to be a little tour. I'm by no means an expert. Still learning lots of things. I'm just going to show you what I've learned so far. And if you've got any comments or any useful tips, I'd really appreciate it, and just leave it down in the comments. Thank you. So let's see. This is my Blackboard screen. When I land on the page, it doesn't always look like this. It depends on how I've come into the LMS. A lot of these are old codes, so don't look. You'll see the years from 2017, 2018, and the one I'm going to focus on is going to be 2020 Mathematics 1. All right, so here's the home page. And if you see this tab down the side, you have to scroll all the way down. We're going to go to the grade center. Now, it doesn't show up on this video, but just look all the way down to grade center and you'll find tabs called needs marking and full grade center. So I'm first going to go to, well, let's have a look at needs marking. Needs marking is going to tell you all the tests or assignments that have been submitted that have not been marked yet. So you can see here that there's quite a few. There are 43 pages of items that need marking. So it's quite tall order, but okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. And then the next part is the full grade center. So here you'll see you get the list of students, all the students in your class, and then across the top it will tell you which the tests are or assignments that they've submitted or written. So I want to go to, let's go to 1 year. So now don't be concerned about this mark over here. It's just because of the way the test was set up. With mathematics, it's sometimes a little difficult to set it up in an online environment because there are different ways of doing a sum. And just because your answer is different from one on the memo doesn't mean that it's wrong. So it actually has to be looked at. You have to look at the calculations in order to see. So this one, let's just open up this attempt here. This test was actually created from a pool. So there was a pool of, say, 9 questions, and 3 were taken randomly for each student. So a student was given an integral, and they then had to say what the answer was. And the reason we did it this way was because it's the easiest way to randomize questions for students. But you'll see, if you see here at the bottom, the answer that was written out here is not an exact match to what was entered in as the correct answer. Now, this is quite difficult to get an exact match sometimes because the order of terms might be different to the so-called correct answer in Blackboard. So you actually have to go through each of them to see whether or not it is in fact the correct answer. So when you get something that is so different, right? Because sometimes you can see just from looking at it that the answer is correct. So you'll see here, this answer has arctan square root, and this one has the same thing here, right? You can see that. And you can see 1 over square root 3, which you've got here as well. So this is just the same thing, but in a different order. So now we have to go back. At the bottom of the screen, you will see that there's exit. You can't see it on my video. So let me just go back and you'll see, this is the one I was working with. And then next to it, this was the calculation submission. So here is where you can go in and actually look at the calculations. And there it shows you the student's attempt of the calculations. And you have to go through each of these then. Here's the document. Let's just click on that. It always opens up in a new screen. And here you can see, you can go through what the calculation looked like and see where the problem was and see whether in fact the answer is actually the same as on the memo. The challenge with this is though that you have to scroll between different windows here. So it's not always that easy and can be a bit time consuming. But you know, I'm sure as we do more of it, we'll become faster at doing it. It's just about practice. So let's close this. And of course, we'd have to do that for each student. And then once we've gone through that, we can just click on here and enter a mark. And that's basically it. That's what I've learned so far. I know that there are a lot more features in Blackboard that I don't know about, and that I'm still getting to know. And with online learning becoming more and more the norm, I think, in the future, I'm going to find out a lot more interesting ways of assessing students. So all I can say, I suppose, is watch this space. Bye.